The next handler we're going to look at is a size rotating file handler. As you can see here, size rotating file handler, name file by size, log level info, formatter, and then file relative to, just similar to the periodic rotating file handler. And the name of the file here, in this case we're calling it production server log. And the important part here, part of this configuration, is the rotate size. That's a tag here. Now basically, since the size is rotating, we specify the size 2048. So that's the size we are specifying here. And then also another configuration here, Mac backup index, so how many it's actually going to keep it in the archive. So that's those are the configuration. Let's take a look at if we're assuming this kind of settings, what you will end up getting. So you're getting here production server log, and then as you keep it in the archive, 3 files in the archive. Instead of periodic one, typically, as you can notice here, is rotate by time, so it does give you the time date stamp here. So this is one is actually just increment by 1, 2, 3. So this is the size rotating file handler. How do you configure that in the management console? Here under the profile, handler size, you click on add and specify the name of the handler. Let's call it file by size, info level, path, give it a name, server.log, and the relative to directory JBoss server.log.dir by default. Let's leave it as it is, so it goes into the log folder. Click save, and if I want, I can able to edit things afterwards also by clicking on edit. And in the XML file, it will generate that, for example. So if I hit reload here, part of the logging subsystem here is actually generate the size rotating file handler, name file by size. So generate that in the configuration file. Now if instead of the console, if I want to use it through the CLI, here's the one I have it here. Instead of showing you demo here, I'm just providing the command here. Part of the lab you'll end up doing this. So cd profile is a domain environment, profile default, part of the domain. There's 4 profiles, profile default, subsystem logging, and then here using once you go to the cd to the location there in the CLI, that particular node under the logging subsystem // size rotating file handler file by size : and as part of the colon you specify the operation add. So the handler name is file by size, we want to add it, and then within the parentheses you start specifying each one of the configuration with the comma as a delimiter, as you can see here, and then file here, for example, file within the chain brace path production server log relative to JBoss server log.dir. So that's actually the CLI way of doing things. So that is actually the size rotating file handler.